There was a really, really big trade in the NFL, a big trade sequence involving three teams, the Miami Dolphins, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's convoluted. Basically, the Dolphins traded with the 49ers, then they made a trade with the Eagles. So three teams. Here's the result, or here's what happened as a result of that trade. The Dolphins now have the number 6 overall pick in the upcoming draft. They also got a 5th round pick. For 2022, from the 49ers, they got a 1st round pick and a 3rd round pick for next year in 2022. And they also got the 49ers 2023 1st round pick. So they got a haul of 1st round picks so that the 49ers could trade up from 12th overall to number 3 overall. So the 49ers, all they got, it's a pretty big get though. They got the number 3 overall pick. They're going to turn that into a quarterback. It's pretty clear they moved up to get a quarterback. You don't move up to get like an offensive tackle. It makes no sense. And what the Eagles got was the number 12 overall pick as a result of all the trading. They got the 12 overall pick for this year's draft. They got a 4th round pick for this year's draft. And the Eagles also got Miami's 2022 1st round pick for next year. So basically, Miami moved from 3 back to 12, then back up to 6. And the 49ers now have the number 3 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. They are going after a quarterback. And I love it. Oh my gosh. They're probably not going to get Zach Wilson, the BYU quarterback. The Jets are likely going to take him. Frankly, I would not be shocked if I'd be surprised because of the hype and because of the brand recognition, yada, yada. But if the Jaguars, it's a risky pick. If I'm the Jaguars, I would take Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence, being totally transparent. They will not because it's risky and you take who you're assumed to pick and you work with him and you make it work. But I love Zach Wilson, the moxie, the attitude, the ability he has. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, frankly. So the Jets are going to likely get Zach Wilson, number 2 overall. If the 49ers can get him, it's a dream come true. It's amazing. It's a miracle. I would be shocked if that happened. So likely, the Jets are going after Justin Fields or Trey Lance. North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance or Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields. They're both very mobile. They're also both very raw. Both quarterbacks could use some time sitting on the bench to learn and get the swing of the NFL before they become a starting quarterback. I would not want Justin Fields or Trey Lance starting day 1 in the NFL. The 49ers are keeping quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. They're not going to trade him away. That's very helpful because it allows whatever rookie quarterback the 49ers do bring in to sit on the bench and learn and take time to prepare. There's really no hurry to get that quarterback they draft number 3 overall onto the field. They can take their time. That's amazing. Now, the debate has become mobile quarterback or not. And that's not really what people are saying, but that's what I'm hearing. It's either Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance. They have to meet with Trey Lance and Justin Fields, make their own decision. Who do they like better? Who do they think has better potential? Who do they want to work with? All that kind of stuff. I can't know that. I'm not in the building. But I believe Kyle Shanahan is going to go after a mobile quarterback rather than Mac Jones, the quarterback from Alabama. Mac Jones, it's possible they go for Mac Jones. Here's why. Mac Jones is like a younger carbon copy of Matt Ryan. I compare Mac Jones to Matt Ryan all the time. It's kind of disgusting how similar they look. And disgusting is the wrong word there, but like it's shocking. Like, wow, footwork, everything. And it's kind of weird. They both were coached by Steve Sarkisian as well. But Mac Jones looks a lot like Matt Ryan. So because Kyle Shanahan coached Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan won an NFL MVP, hey, maybe they like that prototype. They go for that style. I understand that argument. But the league is trending towards having quarterbacks who are mobile. It started with really Michael Vick. Then it became Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. The league is now trending towards quarterbacks who can move. Justin Herbert's another example. You want guys who can move around in and outside of the pocket. Kyle Shanahan knows that. In fact, Kyle Shanahan at one point coached RG3 when RG3 won the Rookie of the Year, looked like the future star of the NFL. So Kyle Shanahan has experience both with guys who look like Matt Ryan and coaching guys who are mobile the way RG3 was for that brief stint with Washington. So I believe that the 49ers are going to target a mobile quarterback. They're going to go after a guy who can move. Because I just think that's the way the league is trending. Kyle Shanahan he loves to design creative play calls. He's going to go after the guy who can move because he can do more with that type of quarterback. And I'm excited, man. The 49ers have been held back and limited by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's been hurt. He's also played poorly at times. And with the right quarterback, not only could the 49ers win a Super Bowl, especially if you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, a guy year 3 with Justin Fields or Trey Lance when they pop and are great, and you're paying them nothing. With the roster you can build around a quarterback on a rookie contract, the 49ers could win a Super Bowl. I think that I'm convicted and I believe that. But even if they don't win a Super Bowl, the 49ers with a great young quarterback who's got a long future, for 10, 15 years, the 49ers are going to be a blast to watch. They're going to be an offensive powerhouse, and that is what I want to see. I really want to watch a high-powered, crazy, fun, well-oiled machine type of offense from the 49ers. They're capable of that. It's there. They're a sleeping giant. They just need the right quarterback. And so I love the aggressive move by San Francisco to move up and go after the quarterback they want, the quarterback of their future. Now, Miami, they traded down. They now have the number 6 overall pick. I mean, it's possible a quarterback will be available number 6 overall, but everybody assumes they made this move because they're committing to Tua. Tua is going into his second year. I tend to agree with that sentiment. If Miami really was planning to draft a quarterback, they would not move back in the NFL draft. They would have just stayed put at number 3 overall, drafted the guy they wanted. Nobody trades down if you're targeting a quarterback. You trade down because you're going to say, hey, we'll take your draft capital and then we'll draft the guy we want to build our roster around our young quarterback. So I love Tua. I almost wore a Tua shirt. It didn't fit right. I'm good. I didn't like it. But it's a bit frustrating. I think our society has a problem right now where we just do not have the availability or the openness or the vision to allow people to grow and change. Basically, in our society right now, one strike and you're out for good. And I just don't, there are some things you can't come back from, but there's a lot of stuff I'm like, you made a mistake and you learn from it and you grow. And I also know that in football, we're so quick to just say, you're done. You had one bad year, screw you, you're out forever. It's like, well, Tua was underwhelming in year 1. And I totally agree. Compared to Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, it was rough, man. Watching Tua, one of my favorite quarterbacks, I would actually go as far as to say that Tua is my favorite player in the NFL. I own a shirt with him. I own a jersey. Like, he's the only player I've ever owned an NFL jersey for. Not even Tom Brady did I own an NFL jersey for Tom Brady. So I love Tua. But I can admit, man, it was hard to watch Justin Herbert look amazing and watch Joe Burrow drop dime after dime all over the field, then watch Tua kind of struggle to throw the ball. And you're like, Tua, oh no, this is not good. However, I'm not ready to bail on Tua just yet. I get it. I'm a fan. I understand that. But Peyton Manning had a really bad rookie year as well. I don't know that you can say 1 year and he's terrible. Look at what Tua's done in the past. Look at a weird offseason with very little preparation, a guy who is coming off an injury. And Tua's not like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is a guy who is really, really physically talented. He can get away with not having a perfect read or making a play, out of rhythm because he's really naturally gifted. Tua, quite frankly, is not the same natural talent Justin Herbert is. Tua needs to be in rhythm, needs to have a great system around him. He's a kind of the classic system quarterback. He needs help. Doesn't mean he can't be amazing. Drew Brees was a system quarterback. A guy named Brett Coleman, guy I love, made a video kind of breaking that down. And so I think Miami can use that number 6 overall pick to draft a playmaker, a guy who they can use to build around Tua. And you get a guy like Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, some big name stud player to build around Tua, make Tua look better. I love that. And Tua, I know a lot of people doubt Tua. I would again refer to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had a really bad rookie year, came back, bounced back. He's a Hall of Famer. He's amazing. So one bad year, I'm pretty patient with quarterbacks. I'm like, okay, 1 year, it's really not enough to fully evaluate the guy, especially like Daniel Jones, for example. I don't believe Daniel Jones is going to work in New York, but I want to see Daniel Jones play a year with a ton of help and a lot of support around him. And if he still can't make it work, then we can completely bail, right? Just because I don't believe in Daniel Jones doesn't mean I'm going to bail on him early. So Tua, let's not bail on the guy. He's out there working his butt off to prove all the people that doubt him wrong. He's going to work his tail off to prove himself right. And I want to see. I don't know if Tua is going to work or not. I really don't. I have to dive into the film. He's not, again, incredibly physically gifted. But with a good system, with good playmakers around him, Tua could be outstanding. So I just have patience, and I'm really glad Miami decided to double down and say, we're with Tua, we're going to build around him, rather than give him 1 year and bail. I just don't think Tua, the person's a great leader, a good person, and I think he's got the work ethic to get better and keep growing as a quarterback. And a lot of people are ready to discard him early. I'm just not that guy. I'm not ready to completely walk away from a guy with a lot of talent who had an underwhelming rookie season. Now, the Eagles, what they got is decent. The Eagles, they moved down 6 spots, and as a result of that, they added basically an extra first-round pick for next year. Philadelphia, basically, number one, they showed they are very, very committed to their young quarterback, Jalen Hurts. I love that. Jalen is outstanding, great leader, great work ethic, a guy I would build around. He's on a rookie contract. Again, when you have a quarterback on a rookie contract, you're paying him nothing. You can really build around the guy, spend money, build your roster. I like that. The Eagles even brought in Joe Flacco to be Jalen's backup to kind of mentor him. Philly will not draft a quarterback. They're drafting 12th overall. And I'm glad. I like the move committing to Jalen. However, after the moves, as I watch Miami get a ton of first-round picks, and I watch the 49ers get a future quarterback of the future. Quarterback of the future. Did not sound great. I apologize. Doing my best. You try talking for an hour. It's hard. Now, Philly, though, after all these moves, feels kind of like the loser. Now, they're not a dramatic, awful loser, but they definitely did the worst of all 3 teams. They moved down 6 spots, and moving down from number 6 overall to number 12 overall drastically changes the type of player you end up picking in the draft. They went from number 6 overall, where they could have been one of the first teams to draft a non-quarterback. Jacksonville Jets. Then number 3 overall, the 49ers. The 3 quarterbacks off the board. Then we assume the Bengals and the Falcons probably aren't going to draft a quarterback. So you have the number 6 overall pick with Philly. You can get one of the premier best players in the draft. Penei Sewell, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase. But now they're not going to get one of those guys. They're going to get a less desirable player. Still a solid player, but not one of the best players probably in the draft. Top 10 pick, top 6 pick to 12, that's a big drop. And going from stud, amazing player to a good, decent starter, the results of that, they got a first-round pick for next year. Woo! Exciting! A first-round pick. Here's the problem. It's not that great of a pick. Miami's a good football team. Miami's not going to be awful next year. They might not be amazing, but the pick that Philadelphia got from Miami, it's Miami's pick. It depends on how well Miami does next year. Miami's not going to do so badly that Philly gets a top 10 pick. And it might not even be a pick in the teens. I mean, it could be the 21st overall pick. Do you want that if you're Philly? It's not awful. Is it worth giving up Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts? I don't know. I don't. That remains to be seen. We'll track that a year and a half from now. We'll revisit and go, man, that trade. They got like a starting corner who had some kind of an impact, but not great. And they got like a backup linebacker. We're going to go like, underwhelming. My fear is this trade was better for Miami than it was for Philadelphia. And while they got a decent haul, they got a pick to lose a good player. Philadelphia is the one trade where I go like, I don't know that was the best trade ever for Philadelphia. They could prove me wrong. I have an open mind. But I just think that Philly did the worst in all of this trade sequence between Miami, the 49ers, and Philadelphia. Philly did the worst.